Scorpio. Something is about to happen between July 2nd and 6th that will shift your destiny. Quietly at first, but permanently. What if I told you that love, money, and purpose are all aligning this week, and your only task is to say yes? This isn't just a reading. It's a spiritual transmission, one that might explain everything you've been feeling, dreaming, and fearing. Stay until the end, because a karmic message is waiting, and if you miss it, you may miss your moment. Scorpio, can you feel it? The energy is shifting quietly but powerfully, as if the universe is holding its breath just for you. From July 2nd to 6th, something rare is opening. A hidden portal that only a few can sense and even fewer will dare to walk through. But you, of all signs, were born for moments like this. You carry the energy of transformation in your bones. You don't fear change, you are change. And now, the stars are calling you into a deeper metamorphosis, one that will touch your finances, your relationships, and the very path your feet walk each day. This isn't a minor detour, Scorpio. This is a soul-level redirection. You may not see it coming, not clearly, but you will feel it like a heartbeat beneath the surface. A pull toward something you can't name, a whisper in your dreams, a sign on the street that stops you in your tracks. This week you are being asked to listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. To see, not with your eyes, but with your intuition. To trust, even when nothing makes sense yet. The energy around you is ripe for breakthroughs, financial rewards that appear from the shadows, love that reveals itself when you least expect it, and a life decision that could change everything. This isn't just a prediction. It's a sacred message from the universe reminding you who you are. You are the phoenix, and the fire has arrived. What will you burn away to rise? What truth are you ready to claim? The days ahead will test your courage and sharpen your clarity. But if you walk forward with heart, what you'll receive will be far more than you imagined. Scorpio, don't run from the discomfort. Don't resist the invitation. This is your moment, raw, real, and beautifully timed. Everything is about to change, and when it does, you'll know this wasn't random. It was written. There's a reason why the days from July 2nd to 6th feel different, Scorpio. The cosmic weather is shifting, not just in the skies above, but deep within the undercurrents of your destiny. During this brief yet potent window, planetary alignments stir the waters of your transformation. Mars, your ancient ruler, is igniting your sense of purpose and motion, while Pluto, the planet of rebirth and raw power, is whispering from the shadows, urging you to let go of what's already expired. This isn't about chaos, it's about alignment. The universe is creating cracks in your old reality so that light can break through. Expect emotional intensity, psychic sensitivity, and moments that feel strangely fated. This week, your 8th house, the realm of deep emotional release, shared resources, and profound transformation, is activated like a pressure point, drawing up what has been buried. You may find yourself pulled toward reflection, remembering old dreams, feeling emotional surges that seem to come out of nowhere. But this is not regression, it's resurrection. You are shedding outdated versions of yourself and stepping closer to the soul contract you came here to fulfill. Pay close attention to signs, numbers, and conversations that repeat. They're not coincidences, they're cosmic breadcrumbs leading you to your next level. The energy is calling you to stop chasing and start aligning, to stop doubting and start receiving. If you felt stuck or off track, this is your spiritual correction. The universe is not punishing you, it's redirecting you. So trust the strange, trust the sudden, trust the pause. Something is about to move, not just around you but through you. And once it does, the world you see will never look the same. Scorpio, the tides of your financial destiny are moving beneath the surface, and between July 2nd and 6th, those tides are rising with force. This is not a trickle of change. It's a wave, quiet at first, but undeniable in its power. You may feel it as a subtle restlessness, an urge to check your accounts, revisit an old idea, or apply for something that once felt out of reach. This is no accident. The universe is aligning something tangible and unexpected, a breakthrough, a gift, an opportunity that seems to appear from the shadows. Much like your own nature, you are a sign of depth, of precision, of energetic mastery. When your frequency shifts, so does your ability to receive. And now, the vibration of your worth is rising to meet the vibration of abundance. For some, this may arrive as an unexpected deposit, a delayed payout, or the return of money you forgot was even owed to you. For others, it's a door swinging open in business or career, a promotion, a new client, a sudden realization of how to monetize something you've long held close. It might come as a conversation that lights a fire under you, or a dream that outlines a blueprint so clearly you can't ignore it. Whatever form it takes, you'll know it by the feeling. Calm certainty mixed with electric clarity. The world has taught you to hustle, to grip tightly, to compete. But this financial shift isn't asking for aggression, it's asking for alignment. Can you let go of the fear that says, I don't deserve this? Can you release the belief that money must come hard, come slow, come only through struggle? Because right now, the cosmos is offering you a new money story, one where you are worthy of ease, of overflow, of stability. But first, you must let go of scarcity like it's an old coat that no longer fits. This may also be the week you realize that what you were chasing isn't even what you truly want. A job you thought you needed might begin to feel like a cage. A business you built might reveal that its structure no longer supports your soul. If that happens, don't panic. Pivot. Scorpio, you are the architect of your transformation. You know how to burn down what no longer serves to build what does. This week, that skill becomes your currency. Start by auditing your energy. Where is your time going? Where is your focus leaking? You might notice money flows most when you're most present, not when you're most exhausted. And that's the message. Presence is profitable. The divine wants to partner with you, but only if you're honest about what you're really asking for. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Visualize it. Say, I am ready to receive what I once believed I had to chase. You don't need to know how. It's not your job to force the path, just to stay open to the signs. Watch for clues, emails from unexpected sources, numbers repeating in patterns, especially 8s and 1s. Strangers mentioning ideas that mirror your own thoughts. The universe speaks in symbols, and this week it's speaking directly to you. You may also feel called to revisit a past idea, one you once abandoned because the timing wasn't right. But the energy has changed. That seed you planted long ago is now being called into harvest. Ask yourself, what passion have I ignored because I didn't believe it could provide for me? What gift have I downplayed because others couldn't see its value? Now is the time to reclaim that gift, not for applause, but because it is the key to your abundance. This may also be a week of financial healing, where you confront generational stories about money, scarcity, and guilt. You are not your family's past. You are not bound to struggle simply because they did. Scorpio, your wealth is not just about dollars. It's about energetic freedom. Can you give yourself permission to thrive without apologizing? Can you choose to believe that overflow is spiritual, not selfish? That receiving doesn't diminish your depth, it enhances your reach? Because when you rise, others rise with you. The more stable you are, the more generous you become. And you are being positioned to be a source, not just for yourself, but for your community, your family, your purpose. Do not downplay what's happening. You may be in the early stages of A long-term financial transformation that alters your trajectory for years to come. Even if it begins with something small, a $20 surprise, a client inquiry, a chance encounter, it is not small. It is sacred. Every shift begins somewhere. Every fortune starts with a whisper. The important thing is that you are listening, that you are ready, that you do not shrink when the door opens. Say yes. Even if you're unsure, even if it scares you. Say yes to the consultation, the idea, the meeting, the offer. Not recklessly, but with trust in your inner compass. It's not leading you wrong. It's pointing you home. To a version of life where money flows with your truth, not against it. Scorpio, between July 2nd and 6th, something wants to find you. Will you be where abundance can meet you? Will you be standing in your power or hiding in your doubt? Remember, you were never meant to beg for what you were born to embody. You were born for wealth that feels like alignment, like peace, like freedom. And this is your moment to claim it, not someday, but now. Scorpio, the heart you've kept guarded, layered, and protected is about to be touched in a way that feels both terrifying and tender, because between July 2nd and 6th, the universe is peeling something back, revealing what was once hidden in silence and shadows. Love in its purest and rawest form is approaching, not always in the form you expect, but always in the form you need. There is a soft unraveling happening in your emotional world now. And whether you're partnered, single, healing, or somewhere in between, this week invites you to confront something you've been carrying in your chest far too long. Maybe it's unspoken longing. Maybe it's old hurt wrapped in pride. Maybe it's a dream you buried to protect your heart. But now, those emotions will rise, not to haunt you, but to heal you. A connection from your past may resurface, not to repeat old patterns, but to bring closure or clarity. Someone you once knew may finally say what they never had the courage to say, or you may realize that the love you were waiting for was never about another person. It was about coming home to yourself. This is a time when vulnerability is not weakness. It is your doorway to transformation. And if someone enters your life during this window, know that it is no coincidence. Their presence is a mirror, reflecting how far you've come and how ready you are to receive something real. If you're in a relationship, this week may bring a moment of truth, one that deepens your intimacy or forces you both to confront what's no longer working. It's not about drama, it's about direction. Where is your love really going? Is it expanding or is it shrinking you? You'll know by how your body feels when you're near them, tense or relaxed, anxious or calm. Trust that, because your nervous system will never lie. And if you're single, the love you attract now is a direct reflection of the love you've poured into yourself. You've done the inner work, Scorpio. You've walked through loneliness without settling. And now the universe may reward that courage with a connection that feels aligned, affirming, and real. But even more than romantic love, this week asks you to be honest about your emotional needs, what you truly crave when the noise fades and the room goes quiet. Do you long to be seen, heard, held without judgment? Begin there. Because when you can admit what you want, the energy of the universe can begin to bring it to you. You don't have to perform to be loved. You don't have to prove your worth or hide your flaws. The right person won't be frightened by your depth, they'll be drawn to it. And if no one in your life sees that yet, then this is your moment to become the one who does. Fall in love with your silence. Fall in love with your reflection. Not in vanity, but in reverence. Because you are not too much. You are not too intense. You are not too complicated. You are poetry in motion. And the right soul will not just understand that, they'll cherish it. This may also be a week of heart healing through grief. If you've recently let go of someone or something, The emotions may flood in now, but don't resist them. Let the tears flow like medicine. Let the memories come, not to torture you, but to honor how deeply you loved. Scorpio, your love was never small. Even when you were quiet, your heart roared. And now the divine wants you to know that love didn't go unnoticed. It planted seeds, and even if you can't see them yet, they are growing in the unseen. Perhaps the most beautiful thing that will happen this week is the realization that you no longer have to chase what already belongs to you. That if love is meant for you, it will not require you to beg, bend, or break. It will meet you in your wholeness, not your wound. Look out for signs this week. A song that stirs old feelings. A message from someone unexpected. A dream where you see someone clearly for the first time. These are not accidents, they are confirmations. The universe is speaking to your heart in symbols, and it is telling you this. You are ready. Ready for the next chapter of love. Ready to stop settling for connection that leaves you drained. Ready to open to the kind of intimacy that holds you like sacred ground. This is not about fantasy. It is about foundation. It's about choosing the love that chooses you back. About building something slowly, honestly, and soulfully. Whether with someone new or with the person you're becoming, this week is a threshold. One where you can say goodbye to old versions of love that kept you small and step into a new kind of relationship. With others, yes, but first with yourself. Scorpio, your heart is not broken, it's expanding. And this expansion may feel like chaos before it feels like clarity, but trust it. You are being softened, not shattered. You are being readied for something deeper, truer, and freer than you've ever known. And if you're still doubting whether you're worthy of that kind of love, let this be the week you remember. You were born from the stars, wrapped in mystery, made of oceans and fire. You are not meant to be half-held, half-loved, or half-seen. You are meant to be met with presence, with reverence, with truth. So open your heart, not recklessly, but bravely. The love you've been seeking has been seeking you too. And this time, when it arrives, you'll be ready. Scorpio, when your soul begins to stir with restlessness, it is never random. It is a divine signal that something deep within you is ready to evolve. And during this powerful window between July the 2nd and 6th, that stirring becomes undeniable. You may feel it as a quiet frustration with your routine, an unexplainable urge to break free, or an inner knowing that where you are no longer fits who you are becoming. This is not simply boredom or impatience. It is the spiritual friction that arises when your current life can no longer contain your future self. You are standing at the edge of a soul-level turning point, not one filled with drama or noise, but with sacred stillness and clarity. Your path is shifting, Scorpio, not because you failed, but because you've outgrown the version of life you once believed was enough. This week you may suddenly feel called to pivot, a desire to walk away from a job, a project, or even a way of living that once defined you. You may wake up one morning and feel a quiet yet certain no rise in your body, a refusal to keep walking a path that dims your spirit. And in that moment a new timeline begins to open. It doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it starts with a whisper, a new idea, a moment of inspiration, or a fleeting vision of a different life. Don't dismiss these glimpses. They are not distractions. They are directions. They are sacred blueprints planted in your subconscious by the very force that created you. Trust the nudge. Trust the pull. You are not imagining it. You are remembering what you came here to do. For some, this transformation may be external, changing careers, starting a new path, moving to a different place, or saying yes to a long-held dream. For others, it will be internal, a radical shift in how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you honor your energy. You may find yourself suddenly uninterested in proving anything to anyone. You may feel less inclined to explain your choices and more drawn to protect your peace. That is not selfishness. It is sacred evolution. It is your soul reclaiming its voice after years of being silenced by expectations, obligations, and fear. And yes, there may be fear. There may be doubt. Because transformation always invites us to leave behind the known in exchange for the possibility of something greater. But you, Scorpio, are not afraid of the unknown. You were born in it. You carry the archetype of the phoenix. Death and rebirth are your nature, and when you finally say yes to what your soul has been whispering, the entire universe shifts to support you. Opportunities that were once locked will open. People who resonate with your next level will appear. Resources will flow not from struggle, but from alignment. But first you must be willing to let go. Let go of what's comfortable but unfulfilling. Let go of identities you created just to survive. Let go of the timeline you thought you had to follow. There is no map for the life you're about to step into. Only your intuition, your courage, and the sacred truth within you. You may feel alone at first, as if no one understands this sudden change in you. But know this. Transformation always begins in solitude. Like a seed buried in darkness before it ever sees the sun, you are growing in ways the world cannot yet see. And soon, what's been growing within will become visible, bold, beautiful, undeniable. So pay attention this week. Watch for signs that feel too precise to ignore. A sudden phone call, a line in a book that feels like it was written for you, a strange dream that lingers long after you wake. These are not random. They are guideposts from the unseen, gently nudging you toward your destiny. You may also feel your body responding, fatigue when you resist, energy when you move toward alignment. Listen. Your body is not betraying you, it's trying to lead you. And if the people around you don't understand, bless them and release the need for their approval. Your life does not require their permission. Your truth is not up for debate. Not everyone will understand your evolution, and that's okay. They're not meant to walk this part of the path with you. What matters now is that you choose you. Choose the version of you that is tired of pretending. Choose the life that feels like freedom in your chest. Choose the future that your soul already sees. Scorpio, the world does not need a watered-down version of your power. It needs your full light, it needs your unapologetic rebirth, and that begins now. It begins with one brave step, a phone call, a decision, a silent vow to never settle again. This is not just another week. It is the beginning of a new era. An era where you no longer betray your inner knowing. An era where you lead not with fear but with fire. So take the leap. Not recklessly but reverently. The path may not be fully clear, but you don't need to see the whole staircase. You only need to take the first step. And when you do, the next one will appear. Then the next. And suddenly you'll realize the life you once dreamed of isn't a dream anymore. It's your new reality. Scorpio, you are not being asked to start over. You are being asked to rise. Scorpio, behind every shift in your outer world, there is a sacred realignment happening in your inner world. And during this portal from July 2nd to 6th, the spiritual realm is not only watching you, it is working through you. This is not just a period of personal growth. It is karmic evolution, a moment of energetic recalibration where the seeds you've sown through lifetimes, known and unknown, begin to bloom. The people who enter your space now are not strangers. They are soul contracts returning. They are mirrors sent to awaken, challenge, and elevate you. The conversations that unfold, the memories that surface, the emotions that surge, none of it is accidental. It's all part of the divine choreography designed to bring you into deeper alignment with your soul's original blueprint. You may feel a strange familiarity with someone new, as if you've known them before. That's because you have in other realms and other forms. You may feel a sudden, inexplicable release of grief or joy. That's your spirit shedding what it no longer needs and reclaiming what it forgot it had. During this time, karma is not punishment, it is permission. It is the sacred balancing of what has been taken, given, owed, and earned. And Scorpio, you have paid your debts. You have suffered in silence. You have endured more than you speak of. This week you may feel the weight begin to lift. Not because your challenges are over, but because your soul has shifted from survival into remembrance. You're beginning to remember your divinity, your purpose, your original strength. And in doing so, you unlock the gates that were once closed by fear and illusion. The universe doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards alignment. And now, you are aligning so deeply that miracles no longer feel miraculous, they feel natural. Watch how peace starts finding you, how opportunities unfold with less force, how you feel safe in your own skin, even without all the answers. This is spiritual maturity. This is the fruit of your inner work. If you've been doubting whether the pain had a point, let this week be your confirmation. Everything meant to break you was actually sculpting you. Every loss was a clearing. Every delay was protection. Every heartbreak was redirection. And now, as the karmic cycle completes, the blessings you forgot you asked for begin arriving. Not all at once, but steadily, softly, like rain after a drought. You may feel the presence of ancestors, guides, or even loved ones who've passed on more strongly this week. They are close watching, surrounding you with quiet encouragement. If you find yourself getting chills at strange moments, hearing your name in silence or waking from vivid dreams, don't dismiss it. The veil is thinner now. The spirit world is speaking, and its message is clear. You are not alone. You have never been alone. This week is also a time to return to stillness. In a world that rewards noise, stillness becomes a superpower. Scorpio, the answers you seek are not in the chaos. They are in the quiet. Carve space for meditation, journaling, prayer, or simply lying on the earth and listening. The divine doesn't always shout, it often whispers. And it's whispering now, asking you, are you ready to receive without resistance? Are you ready to trust what you cannot yet see? If so, surrender. Not in weakness, but in deep spiritual strength. Surrender your timelines, your control, your overthinking. Surrender the idea that you have to do everything alone. You are co-creating with something ancient and infinite. You are dancing with the divine. Let yourself be led. And as you do, you'll notice synchronicities multiplying. A name repeated 3 times. A number that keeps showing up. A song that plays when you need to hear its lyrics the most. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are proof that your guides, your higher self, and the entire universe are conspiring to support your unfolding. You may also feel called to close chapters that have lingered too long. Not with anger, but with peace. Write the letter, delete the thread, end the cycle. Not everything unresolved is meant to stay open. Some endings are acts of grace. This is your moment to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because your soul does. Free yourself. Free them. And in doing so, free your future. Because the truth is, Scorpio, your future is already calling. It's calling through intuition, through sudden clarity, through the still small voice that says, there is more. And that more begins when you stop dragging the past into your present. The karma is clearing. The cycle is ending. The weight is lifting. What you thought you needed to fight for, you'll begin to receive with ease. What you thought was broken, you'll see was only bending to shape you. And what you feared to lose, you'll realize you never truly needed to begin with. All that's left is the truth. Your truth. Unfiltered, uncompromised, unapologetic. The version of you who trusts the timing, who honors the inner voice, who lets the past go without losing the lesson, who sees endings as sacred beginnings. This is the you that the universe is elevating. This is the you that karma bows to. So take a deep breath, Scorpio. Feel your soul exhale. You are not being tested anymore. You are being trusted. Trusted to carry the light. Trusted to embody the wisdom. Trusted to receive without fear. Give without depletion. And walk forward, not as the wounded, but as the awakened. The world may not understand your peace. Let them wonder. You've earned it. And from this still place of power, the next chapter begins, not because you chased it, but because you became it. Scorpio, now that the portals have opened and the energies are moving through your life with such divine precision, the question becomes, what do you do with all this? What action can you take when the transformation is so spiritual, so emotional, so deeply energetic? The answer is simpler than you think, but far more profound than you realize. Between July 2nd and 6th, you are not being called to force or to chase. You are being called to align, to come into resonance with the life that is already seeking you. And that alignment begins with awareness. Begin by slowing down. In the quiet moments, pay attention to how your body responds to certain people, situations, choices. Your nervous system is a compass now. If something drains you, tightens your chest, or leaves you feeling small, it's not your path. If something energizes you, calms you, or stirs a quiet excitement, it's a yes. Let your intuition lead without needing logic to explain it. You don't need proof for your inner knowing. Trust it. Now is the time to get intentional with your energy. Do a soul audit. Where have you been investing your time, your thoughts, your emotional labor? Are those investments returning peace or draining it? Because peace is your new currency. The more you honor your energy, the more abundance flows in. That means clearing clutter, not just physical, but energetic. Let go of the apps, the conversations, the commitments that no longer align. Make space for the new by releasing the old with gratitude. Scorpio, this week is ideal for writing down your vision, not just what you want, but how you want to feel. How do you want your mornings to begin? Who do you want beside you? What kind of work lights you up without burning you out? Get clear. The more detailed your vision, the more the universe can respond. And once you've written it, speak it aloud. Speak to your guides, your higher self, to God, to the stars, whatever sacred source you commune with, and declare, I am ready. I am open. I trust the path before me. Speaking your truth vibrates the frequency of that future into motion. You don't need to know how. That's not your role. Your role is to get clear, get aligned, and stay open. And while you're doing that, begin to take one small step. Just one. Maybe it's sending the email, applying for the thing, calling, the person, ending what you've outgrown, or saying yes to what scares you in a good way. That step tells the universe, I'm serious. And in response, the universe will begin to show up in unexpected ways. You'll notice support where there used to be resistance, resources where there used to be lack, ideas flowing where there once was confusion. That's alignment in motion. But remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about presence. The more present you are with yourself, the more accurately you can read your own signs. Make space this week to tune in. Journal each morning or evening. Ask yourself questions like, what feels heavy today? What do I need to release? What am I pretending not to know? What truth wants to be spoken? Don't edit. Just listen. And if answers don't come right away, trust they will. Sometimes the truth is revealed not in words, but in feelings, dreams, or symbols. Speaking of symbols, watch the physical world too. Numbers repeating, especially 111, 55P5, 888, are confirmations, a conversation that keeps circling back, a strange encounter that feels meaningful. Even your dreams may become prophetic. Keep a notebook nearby. Write it all down. These are your soul's breadcrumbs. Follow them, and protect your energy while you do. Not everyone will understand this new version of you. That's okay. You're not here to be understood, you're here to be true. Create boundaries, not walls, but sacred circles around your peace. Say no when your body says no. You don't need to explain. Your energy is precious, and who you share it with shapes your reality. Make time for silence. Make time for nature. Go barefoot in the grass, lie under the stars, sit by the water, even if it's just 5 minutes. Earth and sky are your allies now. They remind your soul what truth feels like, simple, vast, and unforced. If you're feeling blocked, move your body. Dance, stretch, walk, cry. Energy moves through motion. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is allow emotion to flow without censoring it. Let yourself feel. Let yourself breathe. Let yourself be. This week also reflect on your sacred why. Why do you want the love, the abundance, the transformation? Is it from fear or from freedom? When your motives are rooted in truth, manifestation accelerates. You're no longer chasing validation. You're aligning with vibration. And in that space, the right things find you effortlessly. Scorpio, remember, this is not a race. Divine timing is not delay, it's design. You're not late. You're not behind. You're right on time for your soul's perfect unfolding. Trust the pauses as much as the progress. Trust the rests as much as the risings. Trust that what's meant for you cannot be taken. It can only be delayed by your own resistance. So soften, open, receive. And as you do, repeat this affirmation like a mantra. I no longer chase. I align. I receive. I rise. Say it every morning, every time doubt whispers, every time fear tries to pull you back. Let it become your frequency, because the more you live it, the more real it becomes. This week is not just about action, it's about attunement. When your heart, mind, and spirit move as one, miracles become ordinary. Life flows, love finds you, peace stays, and purpose unfolds like petals in the light. Scorpio, this is not a test. It's a turning point. The universe is not asking you to do more. It's asking you to remember who you are. And when you move from that place, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can block what's already yours. Scorpio, now that the signs have been revealed, the energies decoded, the steps aligned, there remains only one thing. Your choice. Will you walk through the portal that is opening before you? Will you trust what your soul already knows, but your mind has yet to fully understand? Because this week, July 2nd through 6th, is not simply a shift in circumstance. It is the quiet thunder of destiny, rearranging your life from the inside out. This is not a storm that comes to destroy. This is a sacred cleansing that comes to free you. And in that freedom, you will see things clearly, things you once ignored, tolerated, or accepted because you were surviving. But now, Scorpio, you are no longer surviving. You are awakening. And with that awakening comes a moment of reckoning. The version of you that played small, stayed silent, dimmed your fire just to fit, must now be laid to rest. That version served its purpose, but it cannot come with you. Not into the next chapter. not into the frequency of love, wealth, purpose, and truth that is waiting for you on the other side of this transformation. So close your eyes, take a deep breath and ask yourself with full honesty, what am I no longer willing to carry? The pain, the shame, the fear of being too much or not enough? Let it burn away now, because every time you say no more, the universe hears I'm ready. And it responds not with punishment, but with precision. It sends you opportunities, allies, signs, and synchronicities that match your vibration. But first, you must rise to meet them. And rising doesn't mean hustling, it means returning. Returning to the core of who you are before the world taught you who to be. You were always powerful, always intuitive, always destined for depth. And now that destiny is calling you forward. Yes, it may feel lonely at first. The road to alignment often requires solitude. But solitude is not emptiness, it is sacred space for clarity. In the silence, you'll hear the voice of your higher self, calm and unwavering, whispering, keep going. You're almost there. Let that voice guide you. Let it remind you that the people meant for you will not pass you by. The opportunities, aligned with your soul, will not miss you. You do not have to force or chase. You only have to choose. Choose to believe in your own becoming, even when the future is still unfolding in mystery, and it will unfold. Slowly but surely, like dawn after a long night, like spring after a brutal winter. The light will come, Scorpio. You will rise from the ashes, not as the person you were, but as the version of yourself who remembers their fire. You'll look back at this week not as a random cluster of days, but as the sacred hinge that turned the door of your life into a new direction. You'll say, that was the moment I stopped settling. That was when I remembered my worth. That was when everything began to change. And you'll be right, because transformation doesn't always come with a trumpet blast. Sometimes it comes quietly, in the breath you take when you finally let go, in the silence you sit in when the world expects noise, in the decision to trust again even when you've been hurt. That's the kind of power moving through you now, a power that rebuilds from the inside, that reclaims your time, your energy, your magic, that no longer needs to convince or perform. And as you embrace this new frequency, watch how the universe meets you there. People will treat you differently, not because they changed, but because you did. Opportunities will arrive with perfect timing, not because you forced them, but because you aligned with them. Life will feel lighter, not because it became easier, but because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours. This is the gift of true transformation. Not a new version of you, but the real version of you, unmasked, unburdened, unafraid. So Scorpio, take this week as your sacred invitation to rise, to soften, to begin again, not as someone who needs fixing, but as someone who finally understands their wholeness. Let love find you, let peace hold you, let purpose lead you, and above all, let yourself be seen, not for what you've survived, but for who you truly are. The world is ready for you. But the real question is, are you ready for you? Are you ready to stop doubting the power that's always lived in your bones? Are you ready to trust that your dreams were placed in your heart by design, not delusion? Are you ready to step into the version of life that once felt too big, too bold, too beautiful to claim? Because now it's yours, not in some distant future, but here, now, in the pause between breaths, in the space between decisions, in the stillness between July 2nd and 6th. This is the threshold. This is the turn. This is the moment. And you, Scorpio, are not just walking through it. You are becoming it. You are the transformation. You are the fire. You are the prophecy fulfilled. So rise, not to prove, not to impress, but to embody everything you were born to be. The door is open, the light is calling, and your future is waiting, wild, holy, and ready for you to say yes. You were never meant to stay small, Scorpio. You were born for the kind of transformation that others fear. And now, the universe is clearing the way. July the 2nd through 6th isn't just another week, it's a portal. The question is, will you step through it? Before you go, comment "I'm ready" below if your spirit feels this shift. Because this time it's not about prediction, it's about permission to rise.